Alright guys, thanks for coming out today. We learned a lot of things. We talked a little bit about chipping, hit those into the hula hoops, and we talked about putting and the pre-shot routine. So it's important that we go ahead and learn to practice what we learned in lessons and take that and practice between, so when we come we can work ahead instead of working on the same things over and over. So what we want to do is go ahead and take a wedge here, and we want to remember what we talked about with chipping, which was our grip. Remember we talked about these V's in our hands. So I want to take the V of our lead hand, I want to point it towards our rear shoulder, okay?
Part of a grip, okay? So we've all got that established. Then we talked about making sure that the handle of the ball is we don't want the wrists to go forward in the chest, or we don't want the club head to pass the grip, okay? Then finally, we talked about keeping our elbows tucked in and just rocking our shoulders back and through to make it a nice simple stroke, okay? We also talked about hitting the ball and then the ground to make a good strike. So what we can do to work on that is that same drill with the teeth that we had set up, where you set up a tee, two teeth as a gate, and try and strike the ball and then the ground, okay? That's a great one to work on that. Then we had the hula hoop, which is also a great drill, to work on finding a target for when you're chipping. And finally we talked about putting. And it's so important to have a pre-shot routine in every shot you hit, putting especially. So when we putt, we want to squat down behind the ball. We want to get a look at which side of the green is higher, and then establish how much of a slope there is. Establish how far left or right you can be. So a good way to practice that is just what we did, putting the tee where we think it's going to be and seeing if we aim correctly or not, and if we need to start giving more or less break with our putts. So if we practice that in between lessons, I think that next time we come back, we can work on more advanced things. We can start working on a pitch shot. We'll start to work our way away from the green. And we'll work on bunker shots. And we'll go to a full swing. So I really appreciate you guys coming out, and I hope you want to join me again. Thank you. Welcome. Alright guys, so it's great to have you here again for this lesson 4. I think we got a lot of great work done today. So I know Jack, that's a pretty easy fix with your hands. How'd you feel about that? Was it pretty easy?
Yeah, it felt good. I was missing it right, and by the end, just move my grip over, make it a little bit stronger to the right.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
So you feel like that's something you can really maintain and know what you're doing, right?
Right, it's a simple thought.
Hey, you feel like that more consistent, right?
Yeah, I just had to focus on keeping my body open.
Yeah. Great. Dinah, how do you feel? I know we changed the grip a little bit. That's probably an awkward feel at first, but
Yeah, feels better though.
good. And then Carissa, what did you do again? You close the club face, right? At a dress, we close the club face and you move it a little bit forward in your stance, right? So those are easy things to check when you go to the range. Just make sure that it's towards your front foot, the ball at a dress, right? So we all had a couple easy little fixes that I think will work well with our game. They're pretty easy to work on. We also saw what the other people were doing, right? So we know that if we're missing the ball to the right, like Jack was, we can always try to strengthen our grip, right? And if we're having trouble like Carissa was, where she was having a hard time getting the ball up in the air and she's missing right, she kind of closed the face at a dress, and she moved it forward and her stance moved the ball higher. And then of course there's always the consistency issue with maintaining the spine angle. That's something we can all work on. We just kept our chest over the ball as long as we could. We made a swing with our chest staying over the ball and not rising up onto the shot. That's something we can all work on, right? It's been really great to have you guys here. It's good to get to know you guys a little bit better. And if you guys ever have any problems, like if you ever want to go play golf, or you want to range ball, just a text or a call away. I think we all came together a little bit. It's great. Is there anything else you guys wanted to ask before? No? Great, I'm glad you guys could come out for me.
Thanks, Taylor.
Alright guys, so today we came out here, took some shots on the driving range, and we came out with bunkers. So some of the things that we talked about were striking downward on the ball, right? Try to make good crisp contact. You want ball first contact. That's the most important thing to hit the ball far, hit straight. You want ball first contact. Then the next thing we talked about is keeping our chest over the ball, okay? We don't want our chest going one way or the other. We want to keep it right over the ball so we make consistent contact in the middle of the ground, okay? Right in the middle of our stance. Then we came down here into the bunkers. Talked about a few things in the bunker. We want to open our club face and activate the bounce of the club. We want to open our stance, dig in if that feels comfortable, and then from there, we want to make a nice smooth swing where we let the club head pass through the handle. That way we can activate this bounce. If we don't, we hold our handle ahead, we're going to dig into the bunker. Can't hit good bunker shots that way. Okay? So if we come out and we practice hitting bunker shots, make sure we're always on a nice fluffy lie, and just try and hit behind the ball, let the club head pass through, okay? The important thing is when you practice, you're practicing like you're going to play, but don't always hit fluffy shots. Start with some balls that are up nice and high. It'll work. Hit some shots that are more dug in. If you hit into a bunker on a green that's on the side of the hill, the ball has a tendency to stick into the sand. And it's called a plug lie. We talked with Mark a little bit about this. If you get a plug lie, one thing I want you guys to do, instead of opening the club face, hit it like it's a normal chip shot, okay? You have to dig in to get the ball out of the plug lie, okay? You're going to make a nice aggressive swing. Don't be afraid to really hit it hard. The worst thing you can do on a plug lie is actually leave the ball in the bunker. Just try and get the ball out of the bunker every time you do it, okay? Doesn't matter how close it is, you just want to get out, okay? So those are some things we can practice. Staying over the ball and our setup in the bunker. Okay, guys? Thanks for coming out today. Alright guys, thanks for coming out again for session 2. Even though we were stuck indoor, I feel like we got a lot of stuff done. So we talked a little bit about pitching and then putting. So can anybody give me an idea of how to control trajectory? So how do we hit it high and low? Does anybody remember anything? Where the ball is placed in our stance. Anything else?
Open face, closed face.
Open face and closed face. So that means that we're going to take your club face and we're going to turn it away from the target or turn it towards the target, okay? That's going to control the loft of the club. So from there, the only thing we needed to remember, a lot of us are doing, we're practicing at home, is keeping the handle ahead of the club face, okay? So we want to make sure we get good contact and we're not striking the bottom of the club face on the ball. And we came up here and did some putting. So what are a couple of things we talked about in putting?
Keeping your swing between your feet.
Yeah, so we're going to try and make our stroke as short as we can make it and still get it to the hole. We want to eliminate errors wherever we can. Anything else we talked about?
Keep your head down.
Keeping your head down. So that correlates to keeping your body nice and still and only rocking the shoulders, okay? So we don't want the putter going all over the place. We want it just nice and short, straight back and through to the hole. So that correlates to what I was telling Olivia when we were watching, of trying to keep your lower body and everything like concrete, nice and still. So that's another thing we don't have to work on necessarily at home, but even on the course, just thinking about staying nice and stable over the ball and just rocking everything nice and shortly and nice and still, okay? The other thing we talked about was the importance of the pre-shot routine. Last thing I want to talk about for the day is the post-shot routine. So we've got a pre-shot routine that's self-explanatory. We need to assess what we need to do during the putt or the shot or the drive, anything. But a post-shot routine is thinking about what we did, thinking about what we did wrong and what we did right so we can continue to improve. So on every shot, whether it's a 2-foot putt or a 300-yard drive, I want you to, when you're walking to the next ball or riding the cart, I want you to think about what did I do right, what did I do wrong, and then just think about why that happened. Because the easiest way to improve isn't from me telling you what you did wrong, but it's from learning what you did wrong on your own. Because then you can start to assess your own game and start to teach yourself how to improve. Or if a problem arises, you'll know what the cause of the problem is and how to fix it. So if we all work together and keep working on this, I think we'll all come along nicely and progress into better players. So thanks for coming out, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.